Hey guys, how y'all doing? Hopefully better than I am right now. Not that I'm doing poorly, I'm just stressing out. Trying to take deep breaths, trying to just chill out about it. As soon as I started getting stressed, I literally came up to my room and just sat down with my Bible and did my devotion for the day because I was freaking out because nothing makes me stress out like monetary issues do. And usually I don't have them because I don't have too many expenses right now. You know, I'm in school. So, yeah, my expenses are kind of low because my parents are wonderful to me. But I did my taxes and I had this research job over the summer, and they didn't take any taxes out during the entire summer. So, that means that I owed money, obviously, for that, but also because it was a research program and I was awarded a grant, I wasn't considered employed, so because I made that money, there's another tax apparently taken out because it's considered self-employment. So I owe a considerable amount for my taxes this year. Well, I guess for last year, which I'm not used to. Usually tax time, I'm super hyped because I'm yeah, I'm gonna have money, I'm gonna go get a new tattoo. That's almost always the plan. But this year is a little different. This year, I get to think about how I'm gonna come up with the money to pay off what I owe the IRS because I don't make a considerable amount of money. I realize I have 2 jobs, but I'm also a full-time student, so I don't get too many work hours, which means, I don't get too many work hours, so I also don't make a lot because obviously I am paid hourly. That's not obvious. It should be obvious, but if it wasn't, I'm an hourly paid employee, so it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I know I'm gonna be fine, and I'm gonna pull it off, and I know they got payment plans, and I know I'm stressing unnecessarily, but yeah, I am stressing, so, there's that. Which happens, to the best of us. I've actually not stressed in a while. I don't know, I've been pretty good recently, just pretty relaxed, pretty chill, and not letting things really overwhelm me too much. I don't know. This just kind of flustered me, so it didn't throw me for a complete loop because I knew I was going to owe some money, but it was more, I owe more than I had anticipated to owe, but it's whatever, it's cool, I'll be fine, honestly. I don't know, I guess I just wanted to rant for a minute because it's my podcast and I'm allowed to do that if I want, and you're allowing me to do that if you listen, so ha. Yep. Anyway, I'm trying to work on a paper. It's not going super well, but I have to turn in the draft by 5 p.m. tomorrow, and I have a buttload of things to do tomorrow, so I can't work on it tomorrow, so I have to get this draft done tonight. It has to be at least 3 pages, and I've got a page and a sentence. And I need to come up with 2 more paragraphs. I know what I want to write about. I'm just having a lot of trouble finding the actual facts to go in my paper. Which I didn't anticipate to be so difficult. Literally, I'm writing about gosh, I'm blinking. Oh, I'm sorry. Like crime rates in Maryland and Delaware for like preferably a recent year, like maybe 2015. I'm trying to look that stuff up because we have to relate either the milieu or the like what's happening at the time the story was published, the author's background information, or connect the story to current times. It's for an English class. We're doing the short story or whatever unit. But the story I chose is called Sunny's Blues, and this character, Sunny, gets arrested for heroin and then, gets out and goes and talks to his brother, and like it's a cute story. You should read it if you've got the time. I know you probably don't feel like reading it, but whatever. I had to. So I'm doing my paper on that story, and I wanted to connect it to current times because I know there's like a heroin epidemic going on in like the Maryland, Delaware area right now. So I thought it would be easier to find stuff. Like, I literally just want arrest statistics for Delaware and Maryland for a recent year. Just like how many arrests were there, how many of them were drug related, and specifically how many of them were heroin related. And it's just so difficult to find this stuff. Like, I don't know if my Googling skills are just not cooperating, or if this stuff really just isn't where I need it to be. Like, I don't know. But I'm having a lot of difficulty finding what I need, which is frustrating in and of itself. Because, I'd really like, I'd like to just be done this paper, because I'd really like to go to sleep, because I've got to be at work at 9 in the morning tomorrow, which I know isn't super early for some people. That's like sleeping in, but I don't know. I just got new, please don't laugh at me, I've never been girly like this before in my life, but like this year, maybe this past 2 years, I got a color correcting palette. It's like a makeup thing. So like green counteracts red, and yellow counteracts purple, and purple counteracts yellow, and all that good stuff. Like, I want to get up, and I got a setting powder, so it like makes the makeup stay all day. But I've got a really busy day tomorrow, and I know I'm gonna see a lot of people from SGA and all that stuff, student government, and I'm gonna be at work, and I don't know, I kind of want to wake up and do my makeup. Not like anything fancy, but it'd be nice. I don't do it often. In fact, I very rarely ever wear makeup, and usually if I wear makeup, it's because I'm going out somewhere. Like, out for a fun night with a friend, or out on a date, or like out for one of my family members' birthdays. So it'd be nice, it'd be nice to do my makeup, because usually it's not a thing I partake in, but I don't know, maybe it's just dumb. And realistically, knowing myself, I'm probably going to want to do my makeup in the morning before work, and I'm going to set the alarm, and the alarm's going to go off, and I'm going to wake up to said alarm, and I'm going to turn it off and set a new alarm, and then probably hit snooze on that alarm 1, 2, maybe 3 times, and then get up and brush and get ready for work and all that stuff. So my makeup probably won't end up done tomorrow, not for work at least. I might do it when I get home after work before the student government comes over, but I've got to go to work tomorrow morning. It's a very short shift, but then I have to go to the grocery store because I have to the student government's coming over tomorrow for like a bonding retreat thing. We did one last semester, it was fun, whatever. And they wanted to do it again, and we couldn't do it at the school for some reason, so I offered my home, and they accepted. So they'll all be over here, which is nice. I mean, I like most of the people in the student government, but some of them I prefer by themselves and not with the other people that are in student government, because they can get really obnoxious, which is just very frustrating, especially when I signed up to be in the student government to help out and perform a responsibility, and these people just aren't behaving like it's an actual responsibility when it is, and they should treat it like such. And I don't know, meetings should just go smoother than that. I really do. I really think they should go smoother than that, but they don't. And I guess it's just something I'm gonna have to deal with if I intend to stay. I mean, I'm almost done at the school. It's a 2-year institute. It's just a community college, and then I'm transferring to a nearby university. So I won't. This is my last semester there, so I really won't have to deal with it much, I guess. I guess I can just tell myself that when I'm getting really frustrated. Just, it's okay. You only have like a few months left, and then you leave. And then you just leave. And I mean, I'll be alumni, so I can come back whenever I want. And technically, alumni are allowed at meetings. And I think that would be the funniest thing, to just show up at meetings when I'm not part of the student body anymore, just to mess with the president. Just to, like, pick on her. I don't know. I can just imagine, like, her face. It would be great. But I don't know. I feel like I should be nicer than that, but I don't want to. It'd just be funny. It would give me a giggle. I wouldn't pick on her too bad. It would just, I don't know. I wish some days, sorry that I keep pausing, I've got a beverage, but I wish some days that I could, like, speak to you guys, like, physically, or on the phone or something. I don't know, because, like, I don't feel like I have too hard of a time doing this whole talking to myself kind of thing, or, like, talking to a wall, but I don't know, I was talking to a friend recently, and they said something about being in a podcast. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you were in a podcast? And they showed me, they do it on SoundCloud, and they showed me, and it was like 6 people, like, talking on the same podcast. And I know that's a thing, like, some of my favorite entertainers, like, ever, are Rhett and Link. They do a YouTube channel called Good Mythical Morning, and they do podcasts sometimes, but when they do their podcasts, I mean, obviously there's 2 of them to start with. They also try to make it like a habit of, not a habit, it's cool, but they bring other people onto the show and, like, talk to them. So I don't know, like, they have multiple people on their podcast, and my friend that I was talking about is on a podcast. He's like a guest speaker, I guess, on a podcast, but with, like, a bunch of other dudes, and I just think that's super cool. And they talk about nerdy things like movies and video games. Like, I think it's great. If anyone does want to check it out, it's called Cinema 7. It's Cinema, Cinema 7, spelled the number 7, EVEN. So it's like 7, but instead of an S, it's the number 7. At least I think that's how you say it. Maybe it's Cinema 7 even, but I don't know. If you want to check it out, it's on SoundCloud. I don't know. Let them know if I sent you there. That'd be cool. Maybe they could give me a shout out too. I definitely wouldn't mind it, because they certainly have more followers than me. They've got like 37 tracks on there, and they've got 152 followers, which is way more than my handful, which is okay. I mean, they've been doing this longer than me, and they have more people, and probably more interesting topics, because mine's literally just about my life. And as exciting as my life can be to me, I'm not sure how you guys feel about hearing about it, because, you know, I could talk about me stressing about my taxes and my schoolwork, and I could talk about the really, like, shoddy job I did on a project recently that I did super last minute, but I got a good grade on, and, like, trying to put that together and having my youngest sister help me with it by, like, gluing stuff on the board, because I'm an education major, so we have to make projects that are, like, fun and interactive and whatever. Or, like, I could do that. I could talk to you guys about that stuff. And it's, like, super exciting to me, because it's my life. But I don't know how you feel about it, so I don't know. Feel free to let me know. I mean, I'm definitely open for comments. I'm open for suggestions, because I do want to keep this going. Like I said, I'd really like to be able to post one of these every Friday. Obviously, I missed 2 for good reasons. But excuse me, I really do. I don't know. I don't even know if this could be something, you know? Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just tired. And it'd be nice to talk to another person. I'll work on it. Maybe I'll bring on a guest speaker. Bring on a friend to do a podcast. Maybe I'll bring on one of my other friends that normally do podcasts and see how that goes. But in other news, I get to go to a conference in Tennessee in about a month, which is super exciting because it's related to the research project I did this past summer. But I've been super hype about it because we actually get to go. But my partner for the project was supposed to be able to go with me, and due to another wonderful opportunity that he received, he can't go anymore, which really makes me nervous because, like, our presentation of our research was phenomenal, but it's because it was both of us. Like, we worked really well together, and it showed. Like, we got along really well, we bounced ideas off of each other. Anything that I forgot, he remembered. Anything he forgot, I remembered, and it made the presentation really good. But I don't think I can pull that off by myself. Like, I'm really hopeful, but realistically, I feel like it's not going to be as good. And that's a shame because I really want people to see, like, the work we did in its best light. I don't want to mess it up. And I guess that's just something I'll have to pray about because, yeah, I mean, stress isn't something I need. Stress isn't something I should focus on. Like, I'm called to not worry about anything, so I should just do that, you know? Easier said than done, and I hate that cliche, because I've told people that, and they've told me that, but, I mean, it's unnecessary to say, realistically. Like, everybody knows it's easier to say it than to do it, because doing it actually requires action. Duh. Like, of course. But people still feel the need to apply the cliche. There's a lot of cliches that just show up places. And there are some sayings that I feel like I've never heard before, and they just don't make sense. Oh my goodness. One saying that I felt so dumb. I found, like, a book or whatever that I was reading, and, like, the context in which they used the phrase making ends meet. I had never understood that, per se. until, like, that book. And I don't know, just like, you know those moments, it's like an epiphany, it's like, oh my, like, wow, that makes so much sense now. And it was one of those moments for me. And I don't know, I felt kind of dim. But I was so glad that I finally knew what it meant and could use it logically, because I never used it, because I never understood it, but now I do, which is quite the miniature feat, if I must say so myself. I don't know. I feel like understanding is a good thing. You know? Like, they say, warning, cliche coming, they say knowledge is power. And I would venture to say that they are right. You know? Like, they also say ignorance is bliss, which I would also venture to say they are correct in that sometimes too. But I don't know, like the positions you can gain and the people you can meet and all of that because of the knowledge you have it can put you up there. It can put you out there. It's just, knowledge is a really good thing to have. It's just, I don't know. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is just power. It's accurate. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I don't know. Question for you, if you that do listen, if any. I want to get this podcast out there, and I don't really know a good way to do that. Another fellow podcaster had recommended that I don't put it on Facebook, because they don't put it on Facebook because they don't want people to, I don't know, they don't want their Facebook friends really in their podcast because they feel like it's a different group of people, but I feel like all my people are my people. So maybe it wouldn't be that bad of an idea for me, but thoughts, ideas, suggestions would be appreciated. I know I sound really melancholy tonight. I'm not super peppy, I'm sorry. But should I put this on Facebook? My blog in general, not just this podcast, but should I put my blog on Facebook? Should I advertise it there? Or if not Facebook, do you guys know any other great places that I could share this? Because I'd like to share with the world. Maybe not the whole world, but a larger population that I'm currently meeting. And maybe if we can get this out there, then other people can give me good ideas. So, yeah, if you have any good recommendations on that, or an opinion about if I should put it on Facebook or not, that'd be greatly appreciated. But, thanks for listening, if you've made it this far, and if you haven't, then, well, we'll work on it. So, thanks again, guys. See ya.